Hello, goodbye. Just looking at a friend's stream. Back to my thing. I feel all messed up. I don't know what I'm doing. My body feels like it's in a mode of chaos. I feel all messed up. Whoa. Could I just hear the wind in the microphone? Supposedly people can't hear. Imagine. Anyway, what in the world am I doing? I wanted to do my node-based thing now. Mess around with flowcharts and junk. I feel like I was, oh yeah, tabbing to the everything. That one, that one, that one. FileZilla? Not existent. Yeah. So that goes there, and this goes here, and that goes up a bit, that goes there, and that goes here, then that goes over there. Clickety click. Yeah. Maple, D-Live chat, one that nobody actually really uses.
Veggie, why do zebras have stripes? What is the answer?
You never know. Everybody else I know using D-Live's getting donations of Lamborghinis and things. Ninjaginis or whatever. I'm sitting here like, maybe I'll get all that today. Maybe not. Um, itchy leg. Can't scratch it. Code went where? Wait, where's the code? Might have messed around with things again. Was talking to people about stuff and trying to get some help on doing things so it doesn't freeze the damn browser every time the stuff initiates for the first time. But that went nowhere. Led me to a Discord group where I could supposedly ask people things, but the people are really rude. With the old common stuff of, why in the world are you doing things from scratch when you can just, not do it at all and have somebody else do it for you sort of stuff. That's not the point, never is. Hey, let's link my thing there. Just so I could basically troll them by showing how basically incompetent I am at trying to do this. Just mashing the things together. Where am I at? Where am I going? Stream. I should link to the D-Live one. The Twitch. I mean, yes. Just, no. What? Discord, yeah. Where would I put this? Um, Miscellaneous? I mean, it's such a confusing damn Discord thing. I have no clue where to post stuff. Like, is it off topic? I mean, the topic is graphics programming, so not really, but I guess I'll put it the voice thing. There we go. Okay, what the world's am I doing? I am trying to make a thing a circle by getting rotations, but it is because it's a circle and two circles merging together and the border between them, which becomes a line. Thing. So I was trying to separate out a dimension. I don't think that's gonna work in any sort of a way. Hmm. Yeah, that's right. I gotta get rid of the XYZ is the problem here. I gotta smush these down to just one of these calculations. Somehow translate it from three different axes of three-dimensional space to just one two-dimensional. And as always, it seems like it should be fine. Okay. And I could try spinning things around in Blender and see what's what. But I feel like it should be pretty damn simple. It's the same general idea of what this originally is. You have the vector, you remove the X rotation, and the problem. Because it's not really that I have 3 dimensions that I want to smush into 2 dimensions. I have 3 different perspectives. One of my rotation things is staying directly in front of me and then showing up over here, where the other one isn't, but the overlap intensity stays the same in both locations because this is the overlap. So one of them is doing what I think it is, well, what I'll have happen, and the other one's not, but that's just how that works, okay? I mean, I could just say I don't care and it's good enough. That would actually work entirely fine. Okay, sure, why not? What happens if I was to... When this mixes together... Let's just set this to 0. Yeah, that all needs to happen like it does. Oh, that ain't the right file. I'm uploading to the right place. Don't want to accidentally trash everything. Refresh. So now I should only see the specular, I'm not going to see any of the rest of that texture stuff. I want to know what happens if I displace it. Yeah, that really shows things off. So it's that circle thing is the problem. Because when I look directly at it, there's a circle. of the x-axis, but then if I go slightly off to the side, the circle is over here now. It's like the middle of its, well, I don't know, however that works. Which is why that looks like that, and that's a problem which I can't get around by doing the whole thing that I thought I was gonna try to do. But whatever. I mean, you know, as long as you don't mind your circles being cubes. So what happens if I displace this thing? I should be able to just toss a displacement in here by offsetting, you know, I got UV coordinates. Meow. What are you doing? I think I have UV coordinates anyway. I might not actually have UV maps. Well, I do on the doors and stuff. Yow. Kitty cat wants some food. Let me just go give the cat some food. Be right back in a second. I'm back. Alright. Yeah, so I should have UV information on some stuff, like the door in the background here that you can't even see, and one over there. So let's just use that to put a displacement based on the location that will mess with the normals. Okay. I have no clue what the normals of the walls would be for the rest of the thing. But whatever. So that would just be getting the normal. Local location normal. And saying that is equal to a rotate point thing, which is itself. And then we just say the UV coordinates. How exactly do I imagine this looking? So this needs to be a vec3. I feel like I want to sign it or something, so I do the sign of that, but that's not even going to do anything because it's a number between 0 and 1 anyway. Okay, so if I do that, then I timed this by like 10. So that would mean from 0 to 1, there's going to be a wave, 10 waves. And this will be X, Y, and Z, which I guess should look interesting. And this is a rotation, so we'll want to times 2 minus 1 times pi divided by, I don't know, like 5 or something. I have no clue of order operations. I really got to learn that thing one day. Everything gets a bracket. So that'll have the UV, which will have 10 wavy parts within 0 to 1, and then we times that by 2, so it will be a negative 1, I mean it will be a 0 to 2, then we minus 1, so negative 1 to positive 1 times pi, negative pi to positive pi divided by 5, so a fifth of a radion's rotation, I feel like I should divide by 2, because I don't want this to rotate over 90 degrees. And then it's a fifth of a 90-degree rotation of the displacement of the normal, based on the sine value, which is for the x, y, and z all at the same time. That's a vector. Let's just say 0. So this will be vertical stripes, I think. How does that look, I wonder? So basically a texture, a displacement thingy, or normal or whatever, is just this baked into a value. So red, green, blue is the red, green, x, y, z rotation offsets of the normal map. Normal vector. Okay. That's interesting. I feel like that worked. Heck of a large displacement. What if I said something like 100 and I said 50? So it should look wobbly, but still recognizable as its original thing. I could also use its color value. That would probably be more interesting. Yeah. Okay. Hello. And I have corrugated metal. Cool. Let's use its texture. Texture color. Texture color 0 plus texture color 1 plus texture color 2 divided by 3. I think I want to do it that way. I feel like this is the better way of doing it, instead of plussing it all together and then dividing by 3. Because if one of these values is a 0, that doesn't work. Because I'm plussing 1 and a 0, and then I divide by a 2. That's not 1. That would be 0.5, where it should just be a 1. I want half of each of the value added, whatever. So yeah, texture colors divided by whatever, 0.0. 0.0. 0.12. So the intensity of the color is the displacement. I have no clue what the differences should be, but I should be able to make out what the texture is. And then I could do an RGB offset, and then I could literally just switch out the texture for a normal map, see what that looks like. Yeah. That looks about what I expected. Cool. Cool. That actually is a really nice embossment. Huh. How do I do this stuff? Ooh. I like that. Alright, well, let's make a normal map. What's a normal map? Normal map. Why are they blue? That's gonna mess with everything, I feel. So, why are they blue? I mean, does it just magically work? Because that's implying that there's a whole lot of downwards rotation. But yeah, that one looks fine. Ah, let's just give it a go, I guess. That's a hecka too big image. found images, but they're well too big. That's a nice one. Hecka pixelated. That's a better one. What in the world is that texture called? Pattern3.jpg. PNG. Let's just dump you into a different folder. Boop. Copy you across. Open. Rename. You are now a PNG. Congratulations. And then dump you into textures. What do you look like? I'm assuming gonna be wrong. It looks wrong. Oh, that's noisy. It's tinfoil. It looks like it's been rotated upwards, maybe? Let's turn off highlighting. Wait, what are you? No, you're the thing. Why do I do that so often? Okay, so what's the problem here? Well, it's blue. I just want the RGB, I don't want this weird thing. And the RGB is straight up offsets. Why is it blue? Why are normal maps blue? Okay. So... I have my one as 000 by default. It's rather annoying. So what would that mean? And it's this weird blue as well. What even is the blue that it is? It's nice normal maps. Better than the one I got. Oh, that's a pretty one. Not sure which ones would be the best one. Our one's quite nice. How big are you? I'd rather have something a bit smaller than a 1K map. But it's got some nice extreme details in it. You know what? I might grab you. Well, that looks like trash. What? It's compressed buggery. Hmm. I want a nice heavy one like that. Real curve to it. Oh! I'm still combining it. I don't want to do that. I want to do that. That's going to mess up the brackets in all sorts of ways. Why am I timesing by 100 right there? Wait, why are you online? It's like almost 3 in the morning. This guy's got work today. Use the Discord. Maybe his computer did a weird update thing. Ah, damn it, where'd that Discord house in go? Really be nice if Discord had groupings for your channels. Whatever they call them. Let's see what that pop-up was from. Was that Epic? I don't know. What are we doing? So, why that should not be divided by 100, or times the 100, times 100. Why am I timesing by 100? We grab the things, we divide them by 3, we add them together. I think I was supposed to no. What? We grab the things, we divide it by 3, we add them together, we got a 0 to 1, times 2 minus... Where did this 100 come from? I am very confused. Oh, it's the sign. We also don't want it to be... I should just do this whole damn thing again. We don't want to have a sign. This is already a vec3, so we don't care about that. Wherever that ended. Yeah, let's just sort of do it again. So we have the texture coordinates times 2 minus 1 times pi divided by 2 blah 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 blah. Huh. We don't... nope, that should be fine, and the last bracket's last bracket. Okay, so yeah, the texture coordinates divided by 2, so it's not... Why am I dividing by 2 times 2? Texture coordinates times 2. Why times 2? Yeah. So that should be a 0 to 1, 0 to 2, minus 1, negative 1 to positive 1, times pi, negative pi to positive pi, divided by 2, half a pi to negative to positive, so only a 90-degree rotation at most, which... I mean, I guess a normal map can't go over a 90-degree rotation, because you wouldn't see it. And then divided by 50 to just lower the intensity, in which case I do not need this right now. I remove a bracket. Oh, okay. Now we'll just go away. Okay, what does that one look like? I am not dragging this into the texture folder. Done that too many times. I mean, I still know it's going to be wrong because it does that blue thing. I should be able to just offset the rotation by 90 degrees in that axis, but I don't feel like it is 90 degrees. Maybe it's just half. It's a weird blue. It's not 100% blue. It feels like it's got something else mixed in with it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing things. I have no console. This is taking a while to load. I'm assuming I have an error. Yeah. Anything simple, missing brackets. It's not a vec3. I mean, that should be a vec3. All this stuff should work with that. Dimensional mismatch. Oh, it's yeah. That's a VEC 4. RGB A. Need that to be a 3, not a 4. Okay, that looks more interesting. Ooh, pretty. It's backwards? I need to have something underneath the light. What are you? Do I want to move that over, or do I want to move one of these things over? Alright. Area 2. And I want you to be under my light, which I put in a different location. Thumpy thumps. Where am I going? Observed. Light location Bioha. Feel like I should be seeing it around here for some reason. I'm not even in the right function. There it is. Yeah, so that's a 9. X, Y, that's a 4. Don't need the points. And that's the Z, so I don't know, 8. Actually, what's the height of the buildable area in the first place? .09. Well, basically 4.1. So I should have it directly under the light. So I can spin around with it and see all the different angles, see if it lines up right. Which it shouldn't. But whatever. Does relative angling matter? I don't know. That is very high. Because that's not the right axis. Eight. Damn it. Wait, so that's where the light is? I guess I have an offset origin? Oh wait, what? No, what? Oh, that's where that... Of course that's where that is, because that's literally where I'll put it. Yeah, 4.1. So what's happening today? Monitoring? Interesting, interesting. Yeah, so one dimension's off, as expected. Okay, what is the color? Color is... weird. Um... 248. Huh? Uh, 47. Yeah, this is weird. That's half of the 255 divided by 2 is 127, not 124. Unless it's 256 divided by 2. 128. No. So that's interesting. I guess it could be rounding compression. And then 247 for blue. Had they divided it into pi? Something? Oh, normal mapping. Yeah, 0.5.51 is what I... Oh, it's probably measured in, linear... sRGB instead of RGB or whatever it was. So the value's a little bit off. Which I think that's automatically converted within my thing. Well, let me know if you need any help. Yeah, okay, so if that's 0.5.51, then... Actually, I do want it to be 0.5.5, don't I? I just don't want that to be a 1. But if that's a 1, then... Is that just by default? Because it can't be a 2. I am confused about this now. I want that one. I want that color space. I want world space, not tangent. I assume to convert it, I just gotta offset that. What does that mean though? Because if that's already 100%, that means you can't have any more in that axis. You can only have less in that axis. So... what do I do there? It's... I don't understand. Hang on. Let's just Google it. Tangent to world. Nah. It's gonna come up with all the mathy things. I want to just know what I do with that color values. Well, the best way I could sort of think of doing it is I could just figure it out by grabbing this image and trying to make it look the same on both sides. Photoshop or whatever. You've always got to go. Damn it, open the damn image. Image? Can I just screenshot that? Yes, yes I can. Okay. How would I do this? Uh, I should probably have that actually as white rather than black. Okay, that's not working at all like I thought it would. There we are. Really? Okay. So if I then I mean I guess just had blue? So that's just removing the blue value. No. So it's not as simple as just removing it. So if it's 1 and we need to offset it, then I would imagine if you went, because you can't add more than 1, but the other ones can't have like you can only add or subtract 0.5. So this one is already at its limit, so it's just removing. God, that's weird, but whatever. So no, I would imagine I do just subtract 50%. But that's not what that's doing. Because it's opposite? I don't know. One of these things probably does it. Okay. Yeah, well, the best I gotta, yeah, blah, 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 blah. I feel like maybe I need to subtract and then invert? Where does subtract go? Because it seems like there's no blue where there should be blue. And then there is blue where there shouldn't be blue, maybe. How do I invert a channel? Um, can I apply this? Okay. And then... I don't want the whole layer, I just want that part in the highlighted area. Oh, it was. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Weird. Edit? Tonal correction. Reverse gradient. I just want that one channel though. How do I reverse one thing? Well, let's go on about that one for inverting everything, but... Huh. Did that do a thing? Right, poster joined. Oh, it's just you again. Can I have this as RGB? Oh, that looks fancy. Uh, nope. Oh, yeah. I don't think that's right. No. What if I invert the other two channels? Why would that be a thing? I don't know. This still looks like the red and green are flipped now. What am I seeing? So is red where red is supposed to be? No. Ugh. So is that back to the way it was? Oh, that's just completely removed the green. Need to multiply. No? What? Need to add? Oh, I just did some... No. So that's back to what it originally was. Yeah. There's a heck of a lot of red there. Also, this should not be 50%. Okay. Yeah, that ain't enough red. Compared to what that one's showing, and all I should have done is remove the blue channel. Okay, interesting. Hmm. I don't... I don't understand. How does this work? It doesn't make sense. If it's at 100%, then it can't be increased. So how could you have an offset further than 100%? Why do they have an offset in the first place? Why is this the standard? I don't understand. I mean, you should have 0, 0, 0. Why would they add an axis which is just at a 1 by default? Why would they not just not have that? Okay. So what do I see? Yeah. I mean, that's what I want to be seeing, but that's not what you see. Wait, why does it have the blue channel? I mean, shouldn't just 2 be fine? What would the third one be? Well, yeah, so you have green. I need a dome. Yeah. So the blue... I want my one to be blacker, not bluer. So I feel like I should just have to minus this thing, but it doesn't make sense. So that would be 100% red, 0% red, or whichever way around that's 100% up the top to 0% at the bottom. But why is that 100% blue here? And Foolsy? damn blue? You can't have that damn value. But it... Eh. So it... So this blue has 50% red, 50% green, and 100% blue in it. So that's just the lack of blue and green making this look like 100% blue. Okay. Where this is not white. We don't have whites. How do we not have a white color? I guess because immediately if it's any other angle, it's gonna lessen the blue. So, do I just not have blue? Yeah, why do I have blue? Blue doesn't do anything. There is no that axis. Why is there blue? Hmm. I guess because it's a 3D thing. If you had the sphere, it would be like the sphere and this thing unwrapped. Red, green, blue. Where this is something else. Okay. So the blue is irrelevant. Oh no. Hello. Okay. Well, whatever, I just ignore the blue. Um... I feel like this isn't gonna have any difference to it though. I don't have brackets. Boop. Boop. 0. No. I want that over here. So X does not have a rotation, we just have Y and Z. I'm assuming everything's the right relative coordinates. I mean, left and right could be flipped. But I feel like X is X. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, let's get a normal map of like a sphere or something. Where are my normal maps? That one. I keep that one there. There's plenty of them around a moment ago. And I'm probably strolling past them. Oh, that's pretty. That doesn't look right. I guess that doesn't look like a sphere, it's too flat. That one's more popped up. Also could be indented. Sure, let's go for that one. That one looks okay. How big is this damn image? not, that would work pretty well. I don't know. Let's just grab that one too. Oh, there we go. Opens a new tab rather than opening image. Oops, whatever. Quit your wall. Out of here. That's hecka low resolution. Doop. Dragly drop. You are now this PNG. Textures are textures. Whenever you're ready. There you are. Refresh. Well, that's not quite what was expected. But I mean, it still shows it works, so I guess whatever. You can see that part on the top, the light spins around it. Or the reflection. Not quite. Oh, that's a bit of a pain. Well, none of the other ones are going to help with that either. Unless I could find one with like a whole lot of bubble wrap. That one would work. Yeah, sure, whatever. Let's just literally use that image. Oh wait, there's a better one. Oh, a bubbly one. A dotty one. More spread out dotty one. I want the more condensed dotty one. You pattern 3? Get back here. Refresh. Huh. Oh, okay. Crashed all the tabs before I started. Should be fine on performance. Oh damn. I gotta restart my computer. I started cleaning up all the files. Okay, so the light... let's just not worry about that. The light is above, so when I'm looking down here, that reflection should be reflecting up at the light. You can see it going further to the sides as it goes more to the sides. As I spin around it... that doesn't look quite right. Do I only have one axis? Ooh. Very interesting. Yeah. So I was wondering, does the orientation of the texture matter? Oh, I got two different door slides. Ooh. Yeah, something ain't right there. Oh, whatever. I suppose I could move that higher up, or the light further down, because it should be in the middle of this. So if I was standing, well, I guess not quite in the middle, that must have an offset location of some sort. So it seems like it would be about here. Is it even off to the edge? The other lights don't tell me anything. Anyway, what do we see? We see it almost straight up. I think I got an axis twisted, yeah. It's bending the wrong direction away on the outside pieces. It should be bending inwards, not outwards. So at the very least, I have something converted? Maybe? I don't know. What's that do? Or what's the area you're getting? I just now noticed you said something. Back a folder. Whoop. Oh, it's consistently more outwards now. I think everything is just backwards now. Alright. So, don't invert that one, and I invert this one. Well, what is the thing that says it's wrong, though? There we go, that looks better. Not sure about that, though. Oh, that looks nice. Oops. Oh, thanks for the host. Okay, so it looks like the blue one at the very least is fine. It's ignoring the blue one, you know. It's literally what I've told it to do. But yeah, that's going down and that's going up. I've got the feeling that it's relative.
SCDS Dragonev. Dude, my lurkers are your lurkers now.
Oh, the lurkers. You don't get views unless you got lurkers.
I need sleep, man.
Well, good luck. I guess now I gotta put more effort into things, damn it. If I actually have viewers. Other than on a train.
We'll catch y'all later.
Yep. It's cool to see you're always streaming so often. You're the only person who does, as far as I can tell. Yeah, that ain't right. Those weird smushy things. But this side is not right, okay. Okay, that's actually probably just to do with the way that I'm getting the specular, because my specular is just wrong to begin with. That's probably why it stretches out like that, turns into a line. But that ain't right at all. Damn it. It's trying. It'd help if I knew where my light was. I mean, it seems to be there. Can I make some sort of a rendering thing for my light? I mean, I can. How difficult would that be, though? Because I'd want to do that with the JavaScript side, something like that. Put a box around the light source. But the light source isn't a real thing. Unless I put an object where the light source is, you know, such as the isosphere. Yeah, sure, let's just dump the light back into the isosphere. Where's the isosphere? Where are the wrong damn files? Isosphere. You are here. Is that? No, that's where the light is. Oh, whatever. Let's just move the isosphere. File. Plonk. Plonk. Scale's the thing, right? Yep. That'll do. Where are you, light? Hmm. I don't think I got a large texture. Is that smaller? That doesn't look smaller. Is my scaling wrong? Broken? Oh, equals. Is that whenever I change that file it crashes? Oh, you're right, more. Oh, okay. There we go, now it's a lot smaller. It just hides in with the bubbles. Okay, so now I can see where my light is. I can see if things should be in the right relative location. That is not right at all. Okay. No. Okay. So what's it doing? Oh boy, what the world's going on with that? Oh wait, yeah, two different doors. Yes, okay. So that does tell me that this is not the right thing. Am I adding it to the wrong thing? I'm using normal local. Maybe I should be using normal world. And then dumping that through normal local. Okay, what's that do? Ooh. Is that a coincidence? Not a coincidence. Ah. Ooh. What time is it? 3:15 in the morning. Okay, so that's still doing the flippity-flop thing. Is it better or worse in any sort of way? Maybe I need that extra dimension now. I probably need that extra dimension now. Let's just clear all of that. That should be all matching. Okay. Water. Why does your text editor matter? My text editor is Notepad. Well, it's looking more uniform now, but also wrong. Actually, that's looking pretty uniform. Yeah, and it looks like there's an axis flipped. Perhaps. Okay, what the world is this? I mean, that should just have a normal vector, which is upwards in the z, which is why I'm assuming it has a 1 by default, which isn't right, but it is, but it isn't. But that means to translate it, I need to, but this is, so if it's, is that, what is the world normal? That's what I want to know. Grab that. And I guess we just dump that into here. So that should just be 0 to 1s? Does it have negative 1s? It does have negative 1s. What would that mean? Well, it's just going to be black. Whatever. Times 2... No. Plus 1 divided by 2. So that should make it so gray is its default value. You know what? Let's just see what it looks like that. So what I'm expecting to see here is nothing. This should just be black. I think. It's local, so... Oh. Well, okay. Huh. World is not world, that's right. This is backwards. Well, I mean, if that's the case, then this is the normal. So, what? I am very confused. What does local look like? Okay. So, the local one is the one that I want to alter, not the global one. But we don't have what axis? So we have green and blue, but we don't have red, which is what I was doing. But I was doing it wrong back then, so maybe I just had a flawed test. So local is the one we want to mess with. And this is a vec2 with the, but that it's what be normal? So we have red to that side, green to that side. So that means the red is negative green, or just green, and then the blue is wait, what? The blue is green. So green and red are flipped. What? Hang on. So it's blue looking down, we have red looking down. So we want to ignore the blue, which would be 2. We don't, let's just keep that there, whatever. So this is a vec3, this is just 0. Thanks for the lemons. And then we have green, which is red. Possibly inverted. And then the last one's the last one. And that one becomes 0. And magic? Thanks for the host with those 0 viewers. Now I sort of got to commit to doing a longer stream. I was expecting just to mess around with this for a while, and then I was just gonna go work on my text editor. Interesting. Yeah, so it's got blue on one side, but then that one's got blue on the other side. That one's got blue there, but that one's got blue up. How do I make all of these things the same? Really gotta fix that jumping. Blah, 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 blah. I would do that by altering this? I doubt it. I mean, I feel like I'd need to do it in the world space before converting it to the local space, and that's how you do it. That's the rendering. Wait, no, that's the rendering. So, sure, whatever. Dump that back there again. That goes away. It's always a typo. And you are world. But now I've mapped it to the wrong things because this is world, not local, but whatever. This ought to look interesting. I guess because it is it, but then no. Oh yeah, because world isn't world. Look, ah, normal is world. I mean local. Ah. So this is the static one, or is this the moving one? Get there eventually. Always do. Yeah, so this one is changing. So this one is not changing? No. Yeah, so local is local, and world should be world. Unless they're both local. Okay, now that's static. Okay, so world is world. They should all be red on the other side, which I'm not sure if I can see. Yeah, red, 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 so everything is the way it's supposed to be. It's static. So that's from this one. If it's from this one, then I need to alter that one. So I do need to do this here. Okay, in which case, well, blue is blue. So if blue is blue, then that is blue, which I don't care about. I could just say 0. And red, so looking top down, red would be away that way. What is it here? Red is that side, so red and green are switched. Yep. Wait, but the 0 is also getting messed with this. Well, it ties 2 is 0 minus 1, that would be -1. I need that to be a 0. Hang on, what? Times pi divided by 2. Oh, no, that's fine. So it'd be 0 times 2 is 0 minus 1 is -1 times pi is -pi divided by 2 is half of no. So I want this to be 0.5. So 0.5 times 2 is 1, -1 is 0 times pi is 0 divided by 2 is 0. I have that other vec3. Was that back wall always green? Oh yeah, because those walls have normals as well, which are, I mean, it's got a UV map, but it's not correct. It's probably just 0, 0. Okay, I think that's about right. So blue was down, red was, yeah, coming at you, and that's that. Okay. So those aren't right, but maybe this one is, which I think it already was. So how would I get these ones to be correct? I need to just translate it? Oops. Okay. It's got 2 greens on it. Interesting. Whatever, let's see what it looks like. Why is tabbing weird? If I put that back. It doesn't really matter how you spell things, as long as you spell things consistently. That's the magic of programming. You can spell things as wrong as you want. That's getting to be a problem. I wonder why that's happening. I probably just need to restart my computer. Starting to feel a bit laggy. Damn it, that's really annoying. Okay. That feels like it's bending away when it should be coming towards. Oh my god, that's annoying. Yeah, it's backwards again. It's bending away when it should be coming towards. It just, that one axis is flipped, which I think was this one? So that's how I originally had it. I'm just making it back to, oh, apparently I removed that one. Why did I feel like an ad just popped up? Why is there an ad there? Oh my god, this is not good. My mouse just moving around is becoming increasingly laggy. I might need to restart my computer sooner rather than later. Everything seems to be fine. I don't know why it does that. I mean, CPU's running a bit warm, considering. Whatever. Yeah, there we go. So that looks correct from this angle anyway. Does it? Those front one's a little too forward, but whatever. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. So what I think I need to do is somehow translate these things so it offsets depending on what the world one is. Okay. So I gotta convert this thing to a vector and just add it together. Well, I need to convert it to a vector rotated around by this. Is what I need to do. So how do I convert this to a vector? Well, I mean, it's just, it would be, just the color value? No, because, so, what? But it's only... Is 100% color a 90-degree angle? Is it apps? Well, you do not do it by clicking that check for update button. The check for update button, as far as I understand it, is a trap. If you click that, it'll give you the experimental builds of Chrome, of Windows 10, which is the versions everybody was complaining about, how it was like formatting people's hard drives and doing crazy stuff like that. That's because at some point they clicked on that, which signed them up for the beta program. But there's an even beta-y beta program. There's like a beta program and a tester program. So one does that, and the other one does the other. So really just don't care. Don't care the slightest about the Windows updates. They will just happen whenever they happen. Which is very annoying if I need to shut down my computer because the power's going to be cut because they're doing a building site next door. And I got 10 minutes to turn off my computer. And it's like, Windows is doing an update. Don't turn off your computer. I'm like, well, you better damn hurry with that update because I don't have a choice in the matter. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there is a way to just do it. Other than just when it prompts you to, in which case you don't really have a choice. I mean, unless you just don't turn off your computer, in which case, you know, it never happens. That's my strategy. If I don't turn it off, you can't do the update. Is there an update at the moment? No. I haven't actually had an update in a long time. Which is very worrying. I think it's doing the updates, but it's just not telling you anymore. Like, you don't have to restart the computer anymore. Anyway, what the hell am I doing? So, I need to turn this into a vector. To turn that into a vector, how do I do negative values? Because there's only positive values. It's just as... Because it's... But then if it... So that would... Unless it's a 360? I don't know how a normal map is. Let's just pause that so you're not draining resources. Didn't I have a thing? How do normal maps work? What does the values mean? Yeah. I think it's just 90-degree angles. So one's the shapes, one's the normal map. The normal map looks so much worse than the actual shapes. Why did they render it with bounced lighting and things? It's... you don't have the right results. And shadows. Whatever. For a good comparison. Yeah. So it's only a 90-degree thing. So that would mean what? I just want to offset. But that's what I'm doing. But the because I'm missing? No. Yes? So damn it. I have the face that I'm currently looking at, which this works fine with. Just ignore the blue, you got the red and the green. But I don't know what the X and Y is relative to that face. I guess that's what the tangent part is. So... I have the vector of the face, which is basically a line coming out of it, tangent, I guess, to the face, just comes directly out of it, and that gives me the normal. And I'm just offsetting that by what this thing says. But when it's on the wall, up and down could be up and down, or it could be left and right. You don't know. So I need a rotation in there, so that's the same. But how do I do that? That's what I need. But even still, it's the wrong color? Unless that's just a side effect? No, that one's just completely wrong. Why does it look like that? I guess because just my specular. So all of these floor ones should be correct. Other than my terrible specular. What am I doing again? Oh yeah, trying to get it to work on the walls. I don't know. Open. The color, the blur, and I need to offset, but not because if then it's not 2D. I need to have it 2D relative to the face, because I got a third dimension where the vector just goes inwards, which doesn't make a damn bit of difference. But that's why I'm offsetting based on a rotation, but then that one of the rotations doesn't do anything. So this, but then, so how do I get that so it's only the rotations that matter? So it's again, that one is irrelevant. Okay. So basically my normal local, but then, so it feels like I should just have to add it to the local. Okay. That's, seems like a smart decision. I really need to fix my chat systems. Wait, this is world. Yes. So I want the local one. So if I have the local one, just remove the other two. Don't care about them. I don't really care about those either. So yeah, the local one has a red. Try not to worry too much. Wait, why is that orange? What? Okay, that one also goes orange. Whatever. So with this one, try not to worry about the red. So the red is the one I'm assuming we got to ignore, and then we got the blue and the green, but it's blah, 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 whatever. Do 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 do. So you are you are the local one. Local one gets offset, so red is the one we don't care about. Green is red. Blue we don't care about. So that's the one. So it's a 0, 1. I mean, I guess if we have that over there, and then in the damn image, we have it over there. Green is down here, blue is up, so that one also needs to be inverted. And that should match up the colors. So red to the right, and green is down. Red is green. Oh. So wait. So red is ignored. Red is green. So 0 is in 1, and inverted, because they are both on the wrong side. Green is down, red is to the right. Green is up, red is to the left. Whatever. But well, and that one's just that one. So there you go. Only one remaining. So that should do it. It doesn't. Unless it did. So that one has green up, that one has green down, that one has green to the side. It's not just because of my position. Why did they do that? I don't understand. Because um I've got the feeling I need to rotate this by the rotation difference in the axis which is skipped, maybe. I don't know. Let's give that a try. What a person joined. Whoop. So let's get you, and you are this. This 1, 2 to get the 0 rotation. Float. Sure. Rotation is equal to that. Then we need to clear it, add it, and then move it back. Sure, why not? Which is just essentially what this thing's doing. Whatever. Damage here. So we get our rotation. Our rotation goes into here. It's just a single dimension thingy. And that is what this gets rotated by. Hang on. So 1, 2. No, that was a 0, 1. No. 1, 2 would be looking forwards. And then we want to rotate the 1, 2 to clear out this rotation. So that'll probably be a negative. The change is then what this 1, 2 is now equal to. Which is why it's not a negative? Hang on. But then it's... So that would... Because it's a... I mean, I didn't do the negative on the other ones. So I mustn't need a negative. Okay, whatever. So yeah, that would be clearing out that rotation. 1 is 1, 2 is 2, 0, 1. This is this. We haven't defined these things. Have we? No, we have defined these things. Up here? Yeah. Okay, so I think this should all work. Where did I go? Oh, wait, no, we're well higher up than that. So we haven't defined these things. Yeah, whatever. And change. Zavek 2. Yeah. And that one is Zavek 3. Eh. You are by default this thing, so that's that. Then we're just altering those 2 locations. And then we rotate it, which I suppose you can just be that. Then we rotate it with this thing. And then we do that again to move it back. Negative R. And job done? Okay. So we got the rotation and that dimension. We clear that dimension, so it's just a 2D line now. And then we offset those 2D coordinates, which we're just ignoring the 0, because it's just a 1 and a 2, which is what we're using. Then we rotate it back to where it was. Yep. And there we go. It's like I go so slowly at this. It's taking me too long to work things out. It's really annoying. Is there an error? 030. Something undefined. R should be a thing, and change is redefined. That's exactly the same. Okay. What if I don't do that? Looks mildly different. I am rotating the right dimension. Is it the wrong thing? Should that actually be inverted? I feel like that shouldn't matter. Don't know why. Nope. So up, down, to the side. Up, down, to the side. No different. And if I just straight up don't do any of that? No, there was one line here I do want to have happen. That one. No. I don't want any of this to happen. Well, let's see what happens with that anyway. Up, down, to the side. Okay, nothing. And then with none of this, mhm. Okay. What if I put R into here? Um, that's a 2. And R. I don't care about that. That's bad. Oh, almost different directions. Is it negative R? Is that... left, right, down. Left, right, down. My computer doesn't crash. Left, right, down. That should rotate everything 180. I assume. Okay, not quite 180. Oh. Oh, okay. I didn't do a... I want all of that to be within a bracket. Ah. Should be vec3 pi, and then there's a vec2, which is that and that. Don't have this. Then we times that by 2. Minus 1 pi. I don't do that. Okay. So all of that is this first bit, and this is that bit. Okay. So now that should rotate it by 90 degrees. Right, 180. So it should be right, left, up. Nope. Was that 90 degrees? Yes, that was only 90 degrees. So divided by 2? Maybe it was over 90 degrees. So that should be halfway between the two. Oh. You get angry at me for that? No. Okay, so now it's left, right, up. Okay. So it's just half as much as I thought it should be. So this is R or I divided by 2? Now that I have it in the right place. It's not being divided in time and minus and all that sort of stuff by a whole heap of things. Okay. What if I stick a negative there? I've got the feeling it's not going to change anything at all. So up, down, right. I mean up, down, left. Up, down, left. Well, what happens if I divide by 2? up, down, left, but I don't remember the ground being red. No, something's different. Just don't know what. Okay. What if I do this? Okay, well it may look different. Stick the wires back in. Maybe some sort of a gimbal locky problem, I don't know. It's always the same damn colors. I mean, except for the rest of the room, yellow in it now. Oh, what's going on with that? Pretty sure I'm using the right direction. What? Oh. Did you send it to me? At least according to that tab, I got no new messages. Yeah, I got no new messages from you. Last message was me doing a thumbs up. Oh, no, there it is. Never mind. Ah, you took a picture of your screen. Come on, man. Do a screenshot. Don't take pictures. What am I even looking at here? What's wrong with it? Any idea why what happens? I don't know what is happening. It's just text. What does that do? What am I looking at here? Did you send me other photos? I don't remember the fireworks. Oh yeah, I remember the fireworks. Oh yeah. McDonald's Pokemon. I was trying to figure out what that was. Yeah, it takes a while for you to send screenshots. Music stopped again. Where did you go, music? Anything? Nope. Blah 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 blah. How do I do this? You can do a whatever they call a tether or whatever to your computer. You should be able to connect your phone to your computer using the USB, and then look in your phone's internet settings, the whatever it is, and there should be a wired tether or a bridge or some sort of a thing like that, which allows you to have your internet go through your phone's USB cable to your computer. Otherwise, you could have a hotspot. You make set up make your phone do a hotspot thing, and then you can just connect to your phone's wireless. you know, that uses up a lot of power compared to just connecting the USB cable, which uses negative power. It gets charged. I don't want to be. I want to get the damn this thing working, but I also can't be bothered. This is really annoying. Or drive? Oh. Huh? I don't know what you mean, but okay. Did you send something new? Nope. Well, let me know when you send a new thing. I really could not imagine why this isn't really working to know how to fix it. Because I just have a vector, and then I just want to offset that vector, but the offset direction isn't right. Why? This is the world, which should mean it's always offsetting in the exact same direction. So I don't get it. Why is the blue down? Why is the blue up? Because this does not distinguish between up and down. I mean, it doesn't have that extra rotation. For all of these things, blue should be up. So, I don't understand. If it's always up, why is it not always up? So this is the local one. I just want to offset the blue down or up further by this value. The blue one... Do I have the wrong dimensions? I think I might have the wrong dimensions. Hang on. Let's just try to alter it manually. Pi. What does that do? You're still not showing anything happening here, it's just text. What's the error? I don't get it. You mean, why isn't that part highlighted? There might not be a reason. Does it cause a problem? You don't have the correct amount of brackets. You're missing some indents. Very, very end of it. What is this? Why is the whole background one, like line 8, that's like indented a little bit further than it should be? But I'm assuming no particular reason. But yeah, there might not be any reason why the highlight changed color like that. Syntax detection. Syntax detection detects a syntax detection detects. Why is this frozen? Okay, what did I do? I rotated a thing. Uh, yeah, so I just flipped the red one. No. The red one's still on the same side, but the blue and the green and the blue have flipped directions. I didn't have shuffle on. That's why this music seems weird. The icons in the first. Well, what's your error? I don't know what the error is to know what the error is, not looking at the code. What do you mean by the icons? What about them? I don't know what you're making here. It's a JSON. I don't know this. You're asking you're asking questions, but none of them are actually a question. You're just saying words. I don't get it. What's the problem? Literally, not figuratively. Okay, what the world's going on here? Why are you doing this? Are you changing quality? You're lagging? You're dying. Probably because of the auto thing. I really gotta restart my computer. What am I doing right now? Where am I looking? I am upside down. I am still upside down. What? That was weird. Okay, so the red's still the red, it's still facing away. That's how that was, right? So if I just switch that to a 0, it's flipping the green and the blue, but the red's still staying where the red is. Yes, interesting. Oh wait, no it's not. It's just rotating around this way by 180. Yeah, so that's what I expect that to do. So by doing this, the green one should stay where it is, and the blue one should move 90 degrees around, so it's either in front, or so the blue or the green one is going to be in front. Syntax error on what line? What syntax error? Oh, okay, or it does the other thing, so... Yeah, the red one moved down 90 degrees, so it's on the bottom, and the other one's moved to where the red one was. So blue was on the back now. Yeah. Okay, so that stuff seems to be doing what I'm assuming it should have been doing. So... Again, any of this is irrelevant to anything. Those directions are those directions regardless of the orientation of the face. So... What? Is something fundamentally wrong with the... So, what I'm led to believe is that this is, by default, all of the colors are 0.5 except for the blue one. On line 23, just syntax. Okay. Line 23. I mean, well, you don't have the escape thingy in this image you're showing me anyway. Unless your indenting is just weird. I don't know. You don't have a comma on line 21. There you go. Damn you, lag. What's going on here? Hello. Alright, so what the world am I doing? So, which one am I rotating? So that was the up-down one, which was that one. So, the up-down one should be green. Which is that one. Okay. So we want to invert that because it's on the opposite direction, supposedly. Maybe we don't. I don't know. And then times 2 minus 1. No. We don't want to do that. Because this is a 0.5's in the middle, so it's going to be less than or greater than 0.5. So we want to have that minus 0.5 and then times 2 and then times pi. So that'll move the 0.5 to 0, so if it was 0 it becomes negative 0.5 and then 1 becomes 0.5, then we times 2, so negative to positive 1 times pi, negative pi to positive pi. Okay. Is the brackets right? I think so. And we go again. Oh no. That's why I have supposedly multiple layers of protection with my tabs, which I still haven't turned that damn thing on, so I actually have no protection on my current list of tabs. Again, we got the up, we got the down, and we got the left. Why? Hmm? Why? What's going... Ah! Because of... It's a texture. Okay. I need to get the orientation of the texture space. I think. Um... Yeah, you gotta fix up that indenting, man. Yeah, because this is mixing UV images together to make all this stuff. That's my problem. Red, blue, black. Blue, black, red. Yeah. So the orientation of the UV image is making it mix together differently because that doesn't care about whatever the spaces are. So I need to get the orientation of the UV space and flip it and flop that all the way out of there. How do I do that? I didn't even consider that. I don't know. What? And shows the red flag tags? What are the red flag tags? Do I even want to know? I mean, I assume it's like blacklist stuff or something. Okay, so I really hated how my first test of this seemed to work almost perfectly. Just had to mess with one thing and then it looked perfect, except it wasn't. Why did I have to do a test on spheres? Yeah. Yeah, I would say those are red flags. Um, it's definitely a red flag to anybody who enjoys that stuff. What am I doing? So, yes, I need to get the direction of the normal map, and then I need to offset that rotation. How do I do that? Um, okay. I mean, it seems simple enough. I'll just get that and then offset the image's color vectory thingy, so that would just be my R value, not what it currently is. But to get that, how would I do that? I guess no, that doesn't work. How do I get that just knowing the 1 pixel's information? The 1 pixel knows where it is in the UV map, but it doesn't know anything about an orientation relative to the object. I could look at pixels around, but that's not how you do that. Yeah. Vlo. Vlo? Vlo? Vio? Vor? Vor. I think it's called Vor. Never actually said the word, I don't understand it, how to say it. Yeah, so how do I get the damn orientation of that? Well, I mean, I have the vertices that make up the face to get the relative coordinates from. The texture ones. Seems like complicated math, damn it. Vor. Via. Vor. I want to say just Vor. V-O-R-E. The. So we have a triangle, we have its UV coordinates at the points, we have a pixel. This could be on a texture, so 0, 0 is up here, and, you know, X and Y. So we want to get what that direction is. Yeah, I mean, what's that saying again? There's a fetish for everyone or something. This is my fetish. I don't remember the sayings. It's been a long time since I've seen a meme like that. So, yeah, that's what I want to get. So if I can get that direction relative to wherever it is in world space, I can get that rotation, then I can just offset the rotation of that one axis and job done, I'm assuming. So how do I do that? Blech. Oops. So I have my triangle, I have my point, I know where these locations are, and I know where this location is. I want to know the closest wall, and I want to know where 0 is at the same height of the axis in world space. So I want to know where this location would be. It's at the same height. How would I find that? Well, if I have the oh god, I gotta figure out how the relative coordinates work. Ah, that's a heck of a lot more heavier thinking than I wanted to do today. Bleh. I had a picture of it yesterday that I was looking at, and I'm like, I don't understand this at all anymore. So the question is, how in the world did I figure out the relative coordinates of this point within the triangle? I remember something to do with percentages. So I think the way I got it is I have where the relative coordinates of that would be along each of these edges. So if you just drew a line directly out, where would that point be? And I have all of those as percentages from A to B, A to B, A to B sort of thing. A to B, B to C, C to D, or C to A. And then I need some relative distances. Or something. I need all three of them. What is my data? So that's Z depth. That is a relative coordinates, and then I have 6 and 6. So that one seems to be an inverter, and then I have 2 values. I don't know. I would have absolutely no clue. Don't make mistake my my relatively working program with the idea that I actually know what I'm doing. Even though I'm literally creating all of this from my own mind. Just because I can make it doesn't mean I understand it, there's the saying. And oh, I got A as well. Why is A... What is A? Damn it! So I use all of this stuff in the relative thing. Yeah, so I have that thing which is a toggle, and then I have two distances. I don't remember what the toggle does, I don't remember what the distances are. And then I have A. I feel like that was important. What is A used in? Yeah, the triangulation. So A and rel. Okay, so that's working out what I need to work out to find the relative coordinates with the minimal amount of information. Still have no clue what it is. What? I mean, do I really want to see that? Suppose I have to. That's not even a whole list, it's just a slice of it. Color? What's wrong with color? Yeah. I, I mean, a lot of this. Oh god, the further down the list you go, the worse it gets. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm not going to say any of those words. And then it's just got artist. I guess those artists themselves are just on the list. Damn it, how long have I been going for? Almost 2.5 hours. How many views do I have on D? None. Not a single damn view on DLive. I had 10. I guess I left pretty quickly. Or it's not displaying correctly either. Um, but my computer's just slowly dying, so the skipping music is really annoying me now. I'll try to go on with this for as long as I can. So 3-point rel, how do you work? Because I basically need to reverse engineer this to just go off on a side. Off on a tangent. But how do you rate them? Because you want to rate how bad they are. But I assume that entirely depends on your preference. Or how bad they can get. Like, because vor thingies can get pretty damn bad if you have the gore tag in there as well. And that's just basically cannibalism then, you know? Wait, is that a thing or is that different? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know enough. Is that paused again or is it just, it's just not loading? I mean, it is loading, it's just not playing. Okay, well, that sounds a heck of a lot more complicated. You need like combined tags, so if it's this one and that one, then they both get overridden to be this number. What? I mean, the next question after that is what is the worst possible rating you could get? Is there something that is that? Anyway, what am I doing? I have no understanding of this anymore. Um, so that's making coordinates relative, and then timesing by a. Plus that back out again. So that would be making one of the corners of this thing 0, basically. And then timesing it by a. So I'm assuming that's to get this in-between location. Of which one though, I don't know. And then if rel is equal to 0, I don't know why I'm inting it, but whatever. Then P2 minus P3, otherwise P1 minus... So that's meaning this one or that one is going. I don't know why there's a difference. I should be able to combine those two things together to be the one the same thing. But... I haven't figured out a good way of doing that last I remember trying. But if I could do that, that would also get rid of my problem of the glitchy textures at certain locations, because it's the in-between these two things with float problems. Yeah, and then 2 minus 1 times rel? Okay, so what I think that's doing is it's getting a point, moving out to here, and then moving it out to there. The question is, how do I work out what rel is? Because that's a relative distance depending on where that one's at. If this one's further away or closer, then it's a different relative, so it's a percentage. So I must be doing a square thing, and then working out how much percentage up that is from this one. Okay. And then it doesn't matter what the locations are, because it'll always be the same. Unless rel is inverted. Rel 0, okay. Wait, did I get a D-Life thing happening? No. Okay, so how does this help me? Well, if I literally just got another point, any other point, I could just get the difference. Um, so if I just picked another point in this thing, and then I could see how much that went up, how much it went across, I could have a right angle thing, I could have that location, I could have a rotation. Because I would know where that location is and what its UV is. Sure, why not? That seems like it should be fine. So... what's the magical number here? How... What, do I need to do that with both local and texture? Because that's using rel and a to work out where the point is. The point is stored within these variables. And then I'm converting that back out to world. Yeah. Okay, so I just need to offset something in rel, I guess. And then get where its UV is and get where its location is. Okay. Man, you're always going for a second. And only half the time come back. UVA, I guess will do. Why do I feel like that's already been used? Who knows? UV normal, UV check, UV orientation. That'll work. So I'll have a UV orientation, and then I just gotta mess with something in rel. What exactly is rel again? So we don't want to mess with 0, so just 1 or 2. Um, it's basically just as long, whatever. Ah, 1. So yeah, that would be that. Then I got to do the same thing in local. But local is local local or is world world? Is local world world local? One of these things is backwards, I think. No, this is the right way around. It's backwards in the other one. So this is camera space, and that converts to world space. So do I want world space or do I want camera space? I want world space. So I just dump the same thing through there. World orientation or whatever. Doesn't really quite work with that, but whatever. Okay. And with those two things combined, what do I do? Okay, cat wants attention. I'm just gonna give the cat some attention. Be right back. I'm back. Now I'm starting to worry about this damn pain in my chest. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, I'll have 1 point, I'll have a second point. I know where they are relative to the UV thing, and I can get that rotation. But then I gotta get where they are relative to world space. So I can get that rotation. Do I? Or do I just need the UV one? No. Because the rotation I'm looking for is that one. Okay. Well, let's just do one at a time. Yeah. Because that's... do I need 3 points? I mean, 2's fine, but I don't... No, because it just matters in one dimension. Right? Yeah, I just need to know what that is. It doesn't matter what about the whatever. It's just up at... Yeah. I think. So... With the UV and the UV orientation things, what do I do? UV and UVO. So with those two coordinates, I need to get. Whoa, kitty, calm down. Don't be leaping up on my table like that, please. Almost leaped into the middle of the keyboard. Um, so to get that rotation, I would just get the rotation. Okay. The rotation, how? Hang on, no, not that rotation. That would be giving me this rotation. So, yeah. That would just be this minus that, get rotation. That's a nice 2D thing. From here to there. And let's just call that R. There we go. Wait. I only want the, no. Yeah, what? No, huh? Because, what? Yes. Because, yeah, that minus that, yeah. So that would be a nice 2D thing. That should give me that rotation. I think. Some sort of rotation here. Okay, so now I need to get that rotation. To get that rotation, I would probably be just doing the exact same thing with the location. Except we only want one dimension, so let's just go to 0, 1. Just say vec2. Wait, this isn't a rotation. This is a vector. Does it matter? No. No, it's a location. Doesn't matter. Yeah, what? Huh. It's whatever. So yeah, that minus that, we only want the vector 2, just the 0, 1 degree thingies. That's that. This is that thing, because why not? So now we have that rotation and this rotation. And then we just minus one from the other. Sure, why not? Let's just say that equals R. And which one do we minus from what? So if that one's from that, then... Well, I mean, in this image, that one's from that, so... minus R. So that is now the rotation that I plug into here? Okay. And maybe magic happens? Maybe it's Maybelline. Why have I suddenly got a really weird... whatever. Felt like I was dreaming for a second there. No. My Tim Tam Kitty Cat. No, no cookies in the cookie tray for you, kitty. My cookies. What are you doing, kitty cat? Looking up crumbs. So, did that change the damn thing? No, because that's also not where that goes. Is it? Wait a second. that was to rotate these colors, right? Yeah, which would just be this. I don't think that's supposed to be an A for one. We want to do that rotation first, I think. Nope. So fluff on your whisker kitty. There you go. Nope. What the hell was it on? Okay. Did that do any difference at all? What the world is this value to begin with? Um. What is this? Oh. That ain't right in the slightest. I don't know how I didn't see more glitchy stuff than I was. That should have a massive impact on things. What? Did I not put R into here? I am confused. I also only have one dimension. Um... Do I have to do the divided by 2 thing like I did the other one? Yeah, there's the glitchiness. It's an optical illusion. Weird. Well, that's something. Okay, how in the world did I go so unbelievably wrong with this thing? It could just be the one that I'm messing with isn't the right one to be messing with. Let's switch this to a 1 and see how that changes things. So that should just be the left right along the yellow line instead of the rel thing. Either way, one's just the relative x and y. You do it down there. Which it's exactly the same. Okay. I don't suppose it's just a simple thing of minusing the wrong way or something? Am I getting the wrong dimension? Well, there isn't another dimension. On the floor ones. Look at that, I can see the mesh faces. I'm assuming that's probably just a negative thing happening there. No? I don't know. Something definitely happening with the triangles. But not on the floor, but on the ceiling? Why not on the floor? Things being backwards doesn't matter. Inside out doesn't matter. Why is the floor seemingly fine, but not the ceiling? Maybe the ceiling has an ever so slight variation to it? I don't know. Okay, so again, what do we got? So what I assume we have terrible at drawing words, whatever. So we have our UV with 0 up there, because why not? X going that way, Y going that way. We have our triangle with a relative 0 over here. We have a point somewhere on that triangle. That point is found by going a relative distance along that axis. Let's just say always along that axis. And then a relative distance up from that axis. And then that finds your relative coordinates within the UV space from only knowing the UV space of these 3 points. Okay. So then we're just getting another UV space. So in this case, we're just moving further along this. So it's up here, because that should be what rel 2 is, or rel 1. Then we're getting a sort of a triangle thing of this. So yeah, along this line would be so that's sort of a straight line. We've got that thing there. We're getting this angle here, basically. Okay, so to get that, we have this location, or this location, that location, we minus 1 from the other, so that becomes 0, 0. This whole thing is flat, so X goes that way, Y goes that way, and then we can get a rotation. Sure. So that would have a rotation, let's just say, of that. Whatever. My drawing skills are getting worse. Whoop. Whatever, good enough. As a rotation of that. So that would have to rotate all around like that to be 0 degrees. Because to the right, it's just the way it is. I think. And that's what this should be doing. So we minus 1 from the other. We have this thing in 2D space and the rotation around the 0 point to put it in that location as a radian, and there we are. Okay, so then we have this location and that location in world space. Maybe I should change that to local. I think I'm going to change this to local. Ad popping up is really annoying. How did that move across again? Have ad block, whatever. Local and local orientation-y thing. Okay. Unless I made a mistake with rel by doing it this way. Oh, I have made a mistake with rel by doing it that way. Whatever. Rel 0, rel 1, rel 2. Alright. 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2. So that would have been a problem. Well, I mean, it wasn't the first time, but it was the second time. So that is that. That is that. We have the UVO, UV relo, local, local. So it shouldn't matter if it was local or whatever. This just means it's just from this perspective, no matter what. So now we are trying to get that rotation, and then we minus 1 from the other to give us this rotation, which I'm assuming is basically that one. Although that doesn't look right, does it? Okay, let's just do the rotations from the other way around. So one's giving us that rotation, and we got that rotation, and then we get the difference between those two rotations? No. No, that rotation doesn't matter. Why am I making that rotation matter? We just want that rotation. We don't care at all about that. So what is this for? Because we want it to be flat. Okay, so we want to do one of these things? Okay. So we rotate that by R. And then this is rotating this. What is this? Oh, it's the other launcher thing. Let's do the buffering thing again. Okay. So we got the rotation for this thing. I mean, if that's that, then let's just straight up do that there. No, the other way around. That minus UV. That's what that is. That could just be dumped through there. And this is the same. This is the same way. Minus local. That's just dumped through there. Okay. So we're getting this point. So we want to move it so it's parallel with this. And then get that angle. Yeah. So we get this thing, and that thing's just a simple this thing, and it's already a 2D thing, so we just ignore that. We want to rotate that around by that, and that's its new location. So, yeah. This thing 0, 1 is that thing 0, 1. In which case that thing is just straight up this thing. Okay. And then we want to get the rotation from no, that is the rotation I want to offset this thing by. Huh? So if I get the change in the UV space, then offset the world space by that, then I get it so it's parallel with the UV space's x-axis, and then I need to get the offset rotation in the world space. Okay, so that would have the same relative location thing, so I just run it through this all the same, and now this thing is that thing, and I get this rotation, and that's the rotation I want to offset by. What's the problem? Dimensional mismatch, yeah. Because this thing's only in 2D. So we want to do that. And this is... what dimensions do we want? Just 1, 2 will do. Because we don't have a 0. Or... hang on. So this is perspective, looking at the thing. So yeah, we don't have an X. So this be a 0, 1. We want to offset that rotation. Now we do want that thing back again. I'm going to offset the 0, 1 by that. And then we want that thing again. Okay. So we're getting the rotation from the UV thing to align with that with this first one. And then we're offsetting that, but in the world space, so it's lined up with that. And that's what this rotation, this change is doing. And then reassigning that in the 0, 1 dimensions. Because it's from screen space, so we just got no, 1, 2 dimensions. Yeah, because 0 is in and out, we don't have that, we just have 1 and 2 dimensions, like that rotation and that rotation. Okay. So that is that. And yeah, so that would have that at that point by rotating around this direction. Should be the 1, 2. Whatever. Which is the in-out rotation, but I'm confused myself. So that's just the way it is. So yeah, then we have that lined up with the X, and then we want to get that rotation, which is this one. So we want to get the 1, 2, so we want to get that rotation again. And that's what R is, whatever, there we go. I hate it when you can see the reflection of your own eyeballs in your glasses. Doesn't look any different. Maybe it's a negative. Doubt that's going to make any difference. You never know. nicely. Just looked like that was working for a second there. Although, you know, obviously all the colours weren't, but... whatever. Maybe it's a divided by 2? When did the process go? Yep. I feel like that should be all good. Zero, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, offsetting the 1, minusing that, that's the end. It should just be a simple minus, might have to do a divided by 2, but it's a vector, so it doesn't matter. That's what that is, that's what that one is. We get the rotation of this, we want to unrotate that in supposedly the same dimension. Maybe I got my dimensions wrong? I don't think I do. This is relative. So 0, 0 is what we're rotating around, and 0, 0 is what that's relative to, so it's not a change, it just is. Unless that's backwards. Fairly certain that should just be R. I've been going for 3 hours now. I really do need to restart my computer. God, that looked like it was working for a moment there. Because that, that's not all split up. Oh, actually. No. Maybe? Yeah, you got that one there, though. It's almost working. It's like a dimension's wrong. But yeah, the rest of the walls has just got 0, 0 UV space, so that's going to be bugging out. But I don't see the splitting in this. Oh, then I do. So it's consistent, even if it's consistently wrong. Although that one and that one seem the same, it's just that one that's wrong. Because that was up, that one was down. Oh, okay, maybe this is all the same. Do I need to do another divided by 2 thing? Really feel like I do for some reason. I need to UV unwrap the damn ship. I think that might have gotten rid of that other no. what that looks like if I just put that through the specular. Oh, that was probably still there from last night. I just refreshed again. Yep. Oh, it looks interesting. Nothing else yet. Whatever. I think I gotta go before my computer decides to completely crash itself. Oh, there's like a bajillion things loaded? Oh yeah, because I was loading a bajillion things. But yeah. I shall be back tomorrow.